Hello, my name is Kara Showers, and I am the Substance Abuse Prevention Coordinator for the City of Melrose. You are tuning into a very important video sponsored by Healthy Malden entitled Kids and Drugs, What Parents Need to Know. We all understand that parents are overbooked and overscheduled a lot of the time, and even though you may want to be able to come out in the evening for a forum or a talk or an event around drug and alcohol prevention, you just may not be able to. So keeping that in mind, we are creating this very important video, and from the comfort of your own home, you'll be able to really take home what you need to know as a parent to help prevent your teen and preteen from using alcohol and tobacco and other drugs. This video is going to focus on the scope of the problem here in the region, also provide you with the signs and symptoms you would need to look for to recognize early drug abuse and use, and where you can reach out for help if you do think your child is experimenting. To discuss those issues, we will be speaking with the Chief of Police in Malden, Chief Coy, Marilyn Belmonte, who is a certified drug recognition trainer, and she is also the co-chair of the Burlington Drug and Alcohol Task Force. And finally, John Noyes will be here. He is the Assistant Director for Riverside Outpatient Center, and he also has over 30 years experience in the substance abuse field. In Massachusetts, urban and suburban youth use drugs at about the same numbers, believe it or not. It makes sense because if you think about it, every middle schooler experiences all types of peer pressures and stresses throughout their time at school and at home, just part of growing up. You need to understand that this can happen to your child. Nobody is immune. Substance abuse has no gender, race, or socioeconomic status boundaries. But solving the problem isn't what you necessarily have to do. You need to notice the problem and be there as a parent. For some kids, binge drinking and smoking cigarettes and marijuana does begin in middle school. Studies do show that a person who begins drinking, or a child who begins drinking before they turn 15 is 4 times more likely to become alcohol dependent or become an alcoholic versus someone who can delay starting drinking until they're 21. So it's something to keep in mind. There is research out there. There are things you can do as a parent. Some of them may seem like pestering, but really it's good parenting, and it's going to help keep your kids on the right track. Make sure you keep talking to your kid and keep listening. Stay involved in what they're doing. Make sure you know where they're going, who they're going out with, who their friends are, when they'll be back. Staying involved with them makes a big difference. Make sure you set rules and clear guidelines and standards about alcohol, tobacco, and other drug use, and be prepared to follow through with consequences. Rest assured that with the knowledge you acquire by watching this video, in addition to the local initiatives your community has in place, we together can reduce substance use and abuse. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ken Coy. I'm the Chief of Police here in Malden, Massachusetts. I would like very much to thank MATV for allowing us to use their facilities, and most importantly to come into your home. I'd also like to thank Healthy Malden, an organization that for 10 years has dedicated themselves to better health issues for all in the city of Malden. 4 years ago I became chief of the Malden Police Department. At that time I realized that probably our worst problem in the city was that of the drug OxyContin. OxyContin is a very expensive drug, and it is a drug that is almost instantly addictive. From OxyContin, we realized that many other people in later stages of addiction have become addicted to the drug heroin. Now, when you combine these two drugs, we have a lot of young people who started down a road that they can't very easily come back off. We have to understand that most people become addicts, not through people from other countries, but through their own friends. This becomes a social situation, and that's really how people become addicts. It is through their friends. It is simply a matter of, let's try this. This may be a kick. We're only going to try it this one time. Well, we know drugs like OxyContin can be addictive first, second, third time. It all depends on your personality. If you have an addictive personality, if your traits that are wired in your brain are very addictive, then you could become addicted to this drug the first time you took it. Now, I like to tell the story of a famous baseball player who played at Peabody High School. His name is Jeff Allison. Now, Jeff Allison was offered a contract with the Florida Marlins for $9.5 million. The only thing he had to do was do a lot of things, do something that most of us really like to do, and that's play sports. Well, Jeff signed his contract. He went down to Florida, and unfortunately part of his clause was that he needed to be checked and he needed to be tested for drugs. Jeff Allison had become a drug addict, an OxyContin addict, his junior year in high school, and he performed well on that drug for a year. But eventually, OxyContin has ruined Jeff Allison's life. We just can't imagine giving up $9.5 million over a small pill, but that is what happened to Jeff Allison. Not that Jeff Allison is a bad guy, but I think Jeff Allison and his friends became addicts. Not that they wanted to, it just kind of happened. They made some bad choices. The tape that you're about to see will hopefully provide you with some information that will really go a long ways in providing resources and information that will prevent you, your children, from engaging in this activity. Now, I know that drugs can be a lifelong misery. It is not simply the person that uses them, it is the person, it is all the people that surrounds them. It can be devastating for families. Only partnerships can prevent drug addiction. You need help in fighting this, because if your friends are using it, you need to find new friends. You need to talk to your parents, your friends who do not use drugs, your educators, and use the resources around you, such as Healthy Malden. Now, it's very important that you watch this tape because, you know, I'm a 56-year-old gray-haired guy. A lot of people are not going to listen to what I say. Hopefully you'll listen to the people in the tape. And it's been made as a result of talking to a lot of people your age and different ages that have experienced this problem. Once again, there are a lot of people in this community, the communities around Malden, such as Melrose, Wakefield. There are a lot of people who care about this issue. Our country will only be as strong as its youth. So please watch this, and I'm sure you'll find something very, very appealing in its message. Thank you.